Imagine if the land could speak. What would it say? What stories would it tell us? Does the land have feelings, memories, even a soul? My name's Gavin Maxwell. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based in southwest England. I'm interested in the rights of nature, nature's right to exist and flourish unharmed by human activity. It's like human rights for nature. The rights of nature concept is becoming a powerful legal tool for conservation cases across the planet. I'm particularly interested in the Hindu Kush Himalaya region. Nearly 2 billion people rely on water that flows from the mountains here. This is the engine room of the planet. My project, If the Land Could Speak, explores this region in a time of extreme climate change. I want the land to tell me its stories. So this land is very much awake. It works on its own timescale, and we're just here for a fleeting moment. So unfortunately, the impact of climate change is really easy to see here. This mountain behind me should be covered in snow, and 2 rivers should flow left and right into the valley. That's long gone. But there's a big thriving town here. Has a school, a hospital. People can't just relocate. So the water now has to be piped from 7 kilometers away in the neighboring valley. The question is, how long will that valley have water for? Trekking at 5,500 meters in temperatures down to -20 centigrade is pretty challenging. The more trekking I do, the more I start to really appreciate the bits of gear that just work, that do their job. The Fuji camera is right up there. I'm carrying GFX 100S2. Probably the biggest game changer for me has been the image stabilization, partly because it can get very windy up here, and the fact that I can use the full resolution of the sensor, 100 megapixels, without worrying too much about camera shake is amazing. And having worked with FUJIFILM cameras before, I've always been amazed how much latitude there is in the files. That opportunity to really explore, to really push things, and to come up with something quite surprising. Apart from the altitude and all the hiking, the big challenge is the idea, if the land could speak. What I'm doing is trying to think about how does the landscape make me feel? Because in a way that is a kind of a communication. I hope it will somehow steer and direct the photographs I take. I always think the sequencing of images is really interesting. Not necessarily one image at a time, but the way a group of images work together. Because ultimately that's what it's all about. This sort of web of life, this web of existence. Everything is related to everything else. So it's day 12, and we've joined the trail to Everest Base Camp. And it's suddenly much, much busier. To me, this feels much more than just a bucket list. It feels more like a pilgrimage. I can't imagine anyone who comes here will leave unchanged. So we're climbing. Every footstep, pack feels a bit heavier, and the breathing becomes a bit more laboured. This place isn't given, it has to be earned.
We are very windy Everest base camp.
When I think about my project, if the land could speak, I think this place probably embodies it better than any other place.
We need nature more than nature needs us. So the more we can engage with the natural world, understand its relationships, its rhythms, its language, the brighter our future will be.